I'm Sanjay Mishra and I'm now present with my one more video on matrices. In this video, I will discuss mainly two concepts. First, the meaning of singular matrix, and then how to get inverse of a matrix and what is the criteria for a matrix to have its inverse. Okay, so first I start with the definition of singular matrix. A singular matrix, suppose A is a square matrix. So the definition reads like a square matrix A is said to be a singular matrix if determinant A is equal to 0. Okay, because we know that every square matrix has a determinant. So if a square matrix A has its determinant 0, then it is called a singular matrix. Okay, I have given one example here. Let A be a matrix with these elements, then I have determined its determinant. So by changing this symbol in parallel lines and then expanding it, 4 into 2, 8 minus 8, 0. So this proves that A is a singular matrix. Then similarly, the opposite of singular is non-singular, so also the condition will get reversed. So a square matrix A is said to be a non-singular matrix if its determinant is not equal to 0. So one example for this also, if A is this one, then if we find the determinant of this matrix, so it is minus 1 into minus 3, 3 minus 16, which is minus 13, not equal to 0. So this matrix is a non-singular matrix. Okay, so this was the definition. Okay, now I am going to define inverse of a matrix. So one very important statement I have written here, only non-singular matrices have their inverse. Okay, now this point I will derive or I will explain when we go for the formula of getting inverse of a matrix. So at that point this condition will be clear. Now what is the definition of inverse of a matrix? If A is a non-singular square matrix, then another square matrix B of the same order as that of A is said to be inverse of A if AB is equal to BA is equal to I, where I is the unit matrix of the same order as that of A. Okay, so I stands for identity matrix. So what you find that if we go for inverse of any matrix and after getting it, if we multiply that matrix with A, whether pre-multiply or post-multiply, the result is always identity matrix. So B will be known as A inverse and it will be written like this: A inverse is equal to B. Okay, so this is the symbol for inverse, A to the power minus 1. So this is the definition. Now what we find that the order of B, which is inverse of A, and order of I and order of A, all are same. If one is 3 by 3, then all others will be also of order 3. Okay. Now this theorem will show why only non-singular matrices have their inverse. Okay. So what is the statement of this theorem? Let's look here. A square matrix is invertible if and only if it is non-singular. Okay. So that I will be proving here. What you find here, if and only if, that means it has two conditions. In first, A is invertible, that means its inverse exists. Then we have to prove that its determinant is not equal to 0. And in second part, determinant A is not equal to 0, then we have to prove that A is invertible. So for the first part, the proof is like this. Since A is invertible, then there exists a matrix B such that AB is equal to BA is equal to I, because this is the definition of the inverse of a matrix. And the condition as usual, A, B and I all are square matrices of the same order. This is identity matrix. Now AB, if I take only this part, suppose AB is equal to I, and if I take determinant both sides, so what we get? Determinant A first determinant AB is equal to determinant I, then we know that determinant of product of any two matrix is the product of the individual determinant. So that's why determinant of AB may be written as determinant A into determinant B, and the determinant of identity matrix, whatever is the order, is always 1. That's why this has been replaced by 1. So finally we get this equation, determinant A into determinant B is equal to 1. And remember, both are real numbers. So if the product of two real numbers is 1, so they cannot be 0. None of them can be 0. That's why determinant A is also not equal to 0. So that was the first part. If I go with BA is equal to I, suppose, so going the same way, we get the same result, determinant A is not equal to 0. So both are consistent, giving the same result. Okay. Now the second part, in which determinant A is not equal to 0, and we have to prove that inverse of A exists or A is invertible. So I begin here with a very important result that we have obtained during our discussion in adjoint of a matrix. That we know that if we multiply any matrix by its adjoint, whether pre or post, the result is always determinant A times identity matrix. Okay. Now determinant A is a real number, so I have divided all the sides by determinant A, so we are getting this type of equality here. Now if I take adjoint A by determinant A as B, okay, that I have written here. So what's the equation we get? AB is equal to BA is equal to I. So that means B is the universe of, B is the inverse of A. This is the definition of inverse. So we can write that A inverse is equal to B, and what has been taken as B? It was adjoint A by determinant A. So this also gives you idea that how can we get inverse of a matrix. So what is the way? We have to first find the adjoint of that matrix, and then we have to divide that matrix by the determinant of A. And you find here that if determinant A is suppose 0, so each element will be divided by 0, so that type of matrix will not exist because division by 0 is undefined. Okay, so that's why the criteria is automatically coming up that determinant A cannot be 0. So this part has been proved. Okay, so if determinant A is not equal to 0, the matrix has its inverse, and this is the way of getting that inverse. Okay, I have taken here one question to show you how we get inverse. So this is a square matrix of order 2A. So find A inverse when A is given like this. So what we have to do first we have to find the determinant, because we have to be confirmed that it must be a non-singular matrix. Okay, so determinant A, as you find, it is minus 19, which is not equal to 0. That's why A inverse exists, and we know that this is the way of getting inverse. A inverse is equal to 1 by determinant A into adjoint A. Then I have followed the process of getting adjoint of a matrix, in which we calculate cofactor of each element. So they are the element, and these stands for their position. 2 is present in the position, first row first column, similarly 3 first row second column, similarly others. So cofactor, this already I have explained in my previous videos. So after getting all these cofactors, we have to replace the elements of matrix by their cofactors. Then we have to take transpose. So this result is the adjoint of matrix A. Okay. Now to get A inverse, we have to divide this matrix by the determinant of A, which is minus 19. So matrix has been divided by minus 1 by 19, and this number may be brought inside the matrix by multiplying each element by minus 1 by 19. Okay, so that is not required here. So this is how we get A inverse. So this was one of the question. Now to explain it further, I have taken one question of order 3, and we have to find the same thing, A inverse. So again, first I have calculated determinant A to show that it is a non-singular matrix. So determinant is 1, which is not equal to 0. That's why the conclusion A inverse exists. Then I have calculated the cofactor of each element. So I have just given you the idea that in the examination, or board examination, which way you have to attempt this question. And remember, shortcuts are not allowed in board examination answer, okay? Because these questions are of good marks, like 4 or 6 marks. So you have to explain all the steps. That's why I've written everything here. Cofactor of each element that I've calculated. You already know the method, how we do it. Still, I've given you the idea which way you have to write. So till here, I've calculated cofactor of each element. Then for inverse, again I've applied the same rule, 1 by determinant A, and then this is adjoint A, which is transpose of the matrix in which each element has been replaced by the cofactor. Okay, so 1 is the value of the determinant, what you find here. So 1 by determinant A is 1 by 1, and this is the remaining part, and then after taking the transpose, and 1 by 1 should be written as 1. So this is your answer, A inverse. Okay. Now I've given you 2 questions for your work. Okay. You have to find A inverse in both cases. One matrix is of order 2, another is of order 3. I've given the answer here also for your reference. Okay. Well, students, this is the end of this video, in which I have mainly discussed singular, non-singular matrices and how to get inverse of a matrix. Now after that, I will come some more videos on inverse, in which I will be taking up very important questions on inverse, and under different conditions, how can we find A inverse, and what are the other methods of getting A inverse also, and then properties of the inverse of a matrix. So all these will be discussed in other very separate videos. So just wait for some time. Thank you very much for watching.